Buenas tardes, colegas. Buenas tardes. Bienvenidos a nuestro taller gratuito analizando casuísticas de nuestra especialidad. Mi nombre es Emanuel Piña, docente nombrado del área de inglés en la tercera escala magisterial. Este año también me toca dar mi examen para subir a la cuarta escala magisterial, colegas. Como es costumbre, vamos a tratar de hacer todos los domingos algunos talleres gratuitos hasta el día del examen, colegas. También invitarlos a ser parte de este hermoso canal Hello You Channel y poder ver muchos videos de nuestra especialidad y también algunos conceptos generales de nuestra especialidad. El día 21 de junio se está aperturando un nuevo grupo de análisis de casuísticas y algunos ejercicios adicionales en inglés. Cualquier consulta, ahí está mi número para que puedan contactar, colegas. Muy bien, ahora también me gustaría hablarles un poco sobre mi canal de YouTube. Como siempre mencioné, fue un canal que empezó de la nada, ¿no? Quise subir al materiales diversos de diferentes temas, de cosas de Perú, cosas de numismática, de diferentes temas y también de inglés. Entonces recomiendo que ustedes puedan ingresar a mi canal escribiendo Hello You, sí, junto Hello You Channel, ya está. Y les va a salir obviamente ahí mi fotografía, como pueden ver. A ver, a ver. Entonces aquí ya sale videos, ¿no? Ya salen videos del canal. Ahora estamos haciendo un en vivo. Aquí donde está mi rostro, en Hello You Channel, es ahí donde deben ingresar, colegas, para poder suscribirse al canal. Como pueden ver, como les había mencionado, es un canal de diferentes temas que empezó también en conversaciones con profesores de inglés, aprendiendo un poco alemán, numismática, como les había dicho, y también de inglés. Ustedes, una vez que ingresan al canal, obviamente les invito a suscribirse al canal, les va a salir la opción de suscribirse. Donde dice podcast, es ahí donde está específicamente los videos de nuestra especialidad. Hacen clic donde dice podcast, colegas, y ahí les va a aparecer toda una lista completa de los videos. Hay videos gratuitos, obviamente, videos analizando muchas casuísticas de ascenso, de nombramiento, que les va a ser muy útiles, más que todo para tener estas estrategias para llegar a la respuesta final. Ahora, en cada video sale una opción para unirse, para ser miembros. ¿Por qué? He creado una sección donde una vez que ustedes son miembros, van a tener acceso a otros videos específicos, como pueden ver aquí. Eh, Aquí está. Videos específicos para ser miembros, ¿no? Aquí está. Diferentes videos donde ustedes van a poder analizar casuísticas por horas. Quizá un día pueden estudiar 1 hora, 2 horas. Hay un montón de videos que suma más de 24 horas, solo analizando casuísticas de nuestra especialidad y todas las casuísticas son diferentes, colegas. No es que una se repita, todas son diferentes, siguiendo el temario del Ministerio de Educación. Muy bien, colegas, sí, les invito por solo el costo de 4 soles al mes. Cuando ustedes ponen ahí, acá como pueden ver, solo para miembros, les va a salir la opción para poder anexar una tarjeta. Varios colegas me preguntaban, pero ¿cómo hago si yo quiero enviar de frente el YAPE, ¿no? El depósito? Eso ya es un sistema que se encarga YouTube, ¿no? YouTube se encarga de cobrarles a ustedes ya de manera automática mensual, ¿no? Especial miembro, es como comprar algo en internet, colegas, y ahí van a tener acceso a estos videos. Pueden ver videos de 2 horas, como pueden observar, talleres de 2 horas, talleres de 3 horas, imagínense analizando solo casuísticas de nuestra especialidad. Están cordialmente invitados, colegas, y también a poder contactarse conmigo para el grupo que se va a abrir este 21 de junio. Muy bien, colegas. Ahora sí, damos inicio a nuestro taller gratuito. Vamos a compartir aquí nuestra pantalla. Nos quedamos analizando la tercera casuística y cualquier donación, colegas, al canal será excelente. Ese es el número de mi esposa y estamos en contacto. Okay, let's start, my dear colleagues, with our free workshop analyzing a lot of cases in English. My name is Emmanuel. Here we are English teachers, and we are here to practice and update our knowledge regarding our major, my dear colleagues. Let's start. You know the dynamic. First of all, we're going to read the case in English, and then we're going to analyze it together. Let's read it together. Rocio is planning a speaking activity where her students will practice using language conventions specific to job interviews, such as turn-taking, form eraser, and question-response strategies. Her main objective is to help students internalize and apply these conventions in real-time speaking context. What activity is the most appropriate to achieve the teacher's aim? Letter A. She gives her students a list of job interview expressions and asks them to classify them into formal and informal categories. Then students complete the gap fill exercise using the formal phrases in context. Letter B. She assigns pairs to research the most common questions asked in professional interviews. Then they conduct mock interviews, switching roles between interviewer and candidate, focusing on natural delivery and follow-up questions. Letter C. She asks her students to watch a recorded interview and take notes on body language, tone, and lexical choices. Afterward, they write a reflection on how those features affect communication in formal settings. Okay, my dear colleagues, you know the dynamic. First of all, we are here in the Zoom platform with some colleagues. You know the dynamic. You have a couple of minutes to analyze it individually. Then we will analyze it together. Remember, first of all, I will ask you the beautiful question, is if you had to dismiss one option, what would it be? You know, if you follow that strategy, you dismiss one option, then it will be easier for you to get to the final answer because you have 50-50. You have between just two alternatives, you have the 50% of the case in your hands. So when you are sure with one dismissing, it will be easier, colleagues, to get to the final answer. Okay. Please, you go first, and then we will analyze it together. Okay, my dear colleagues, let's analyze it together. It's our responsibility to identify some keywords inside the alternative and in the case. For example, it's really important here, even we don't have these words in bold or underlined. It's important here her main objective to help her students internalize and apply these conventions in real-time speaking context. So it's really interesting that it is related to the communicative approach. Some activities that they can use in the daily conversations in the daily life. Yes. Uh, okay. Here, obviously, the question is asking for the most appropriate activity. Tell me, my dear colleagues, if you had to dismiss one alternative, what would it be, my dear colleagues? A, B, or C? First of all, I want you to identify one alternative to dismiss, to delete, my dear colleagues. Obviously, the purpose of that alternative is far away. Yes, it's far away from the teacher's aim. It has to be close to the teacher's aim. So please. What about the rest? What do you say? If you had to dismiss, delete one option, what would it be? What do you say, colleagues? Uh-huh. Yes, don't worry. Definitely, I will explain what is the meaning of language conventions. Don't worry. Yes, I agree with you, my dear colleagues, that we have to dismiss here letter A. Yes, letter A. For future cases, perhaps identifying the verbs, yeah, at the beginning of the alternative can help us. Well, here the teacher gives, assigns as her students. Okay. So we can say that here the verb, the main character during the activity is the teacher. So we can analyze that case with the verb. Give her students a list of job interview expressions. So they have the material, they have the language conventions. Yes, and ask them to classify. Of course, they will identify something, but the material has been, yes, in that case, has been brought by the teacher. Yes. So the students complete the gaps. We can say that it doesn't have high cognitive demand in their learning process. So for that reason, we dismiss that option. Yes, it's just something specific. Yeah, complete the gaps, etc. So for that reason, we dismiss. Now, for future cases, it's important to identify the skill as well. Yes. So here, yes, they can just identify. They can, yes, identify something literally, but I want them to practice more that skill, speaking, of course, yeah, in the future. Now, what are language conventions, colleagues? Please pay attention here. Language conventions are the rules that we have to follow into a specific activity. For example, if I want my students to write an essay, they have to respect the structure of an essay. We have to respect the introduction, the body, and the conclusion. If I ask them to give a debate, of course, they have some rules, strategies to follow that debate. If I ask them to create a poster, of course, they have to follow the rules, how to start, how to present a poster. In this case, job interviews, they have to respect the type of questions, here, turn taking, formal register, the type of questions during a job interview. Obviously, you wouldn't find uh, questions about what is your favorite food in a job interview. It is not possible. Of course, we have to respect the formal situation and the formal questions for that activity. Yes, it is not the same to ask question in a restaurant, at the restaurant, sorry. Definitely the questions will be totally different. Those are the language conventions. Okay, the grammar, the vocabulary, the logical sentences that we have to follow for that specific activity. Yes, for that reason, we dismiss letter A. Now, tell me, my dear colleagues, what is your final answer? Letter B or letter C? Please, everybody writes in the chat box your final answer. Thank you very much, colleague Renee, colleague Lopez here. What about the rest? What do you say? We are sharing this workshop, yes, yes, here in my YouTube channel, yes. So please share the link with your colleagues, with more English teachers, in order to practice these cases. And of course, it shows your commitment with our mayor. We are live here, and yes, we can share information here together and practice, of course, the language. As I said before, practice makes perfect. Nice. Congratulations, colleagues. Definitely here we have to analyze the words. Perhaps letter C, it's interesting, yes, but we have to analyze the whole alternative. We have to analyze here the vocabulary. Afterward, they write a reflection on how those features or characteristics. Mhm. So they have to take their time to write something. Teacher, by reflection, it is a high cognitive demand. I agree with you with that situation, but it's not related to the teacher's aim. Remember, we have to find one alternative that it is really connected to the teacher's aim here. Now, just do it to the skill. Perhaps it is far away from the teacher's aim. Can we recall it? Nice. If the case is asking for paraphrasing and not verbal resources, perhaps in that case, letter C is yes, a possible answer. But here, the possible answer, yes, definitely, my dear colleagues, the final answer is letter B. Yes, letter B. Yes, that word, yeah, that word changes everything, colleague, when we analyze the alternative. I'm not saying that this alternative, letter C, is something that we can work with our students. Of course, we can work that activity with our students, but in a different context. Perhaps to develop their fluency or to develop more their productive skills with writing. Yes, my dear colleagues, yes. For that reason, we dismiss letter A and letter C. Final answer, letter C. She assigns pairs to research most common questions. Okay, definitely they have to take into consideration the type of questions for a job interview. Of course, they conduct what is mock interviews, a simulation, a practice, a rehearsal about the interviews. That's the meaning of the word mock, colleagues. Switching roles, of course, switching roles. We have like a daily conversation. They have follow-up situation, follow-up questions, and definitely they will improve more their speaking activity later. Between interviewer and candidate, yes, speaker A and speaker B, focusing on natural delivery and follow-up questions. Yes, natural, definitely it is related to the vocabulary that we have inside the case, colleagues. Yes, 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 you are right, colleagues. Definitely the final answer here is letter B. Yes? Is it clear now, my dear colleagues? Please, I would like to know your opinions, colleagues. Mm-hmm. Yes, yes. Well, the strategy here is to identify the keywords. That's it, colleagues. That's it. Here, for example, the vocabulary, and we need this, we need this, and we need this. Yes, and we can find definitely. closer in alternative B. Yes, colleagues, is it clear now? What do you say? Is it clear now? Yes, perfect. Nice. Okay, colleagues, thank you very much. Let's continue with the following case. If you enjoy watching this video, please, you can make any donation. Yes, here you have the QR of that. Yes, here on that slide. That's my wife number. Don't worry. And of course, I invite you for future workshops that we will have on June 21st. Okay, Madrid colleagues, you are invited, Madrid colleagues, to participate. And similar to these cases, we will analyze more cases and extra material related to phrasal verbs, vocabulary, patterns, collocations. You know, that's really important to keep in touch with the language and with vocabulary related to our major. Okay, Madrid colleagues, as I said before, please try to share the link with more colleagues, with more English teachers, in order to analyze it together, okay? Nice, congratulations. Let's continue, Madrid colleagues, with the following case. Are you ready, colleagues? Please write in the chat box, Madrid colleagues. Are you ready for case number 4? What do you say, colleagues? Sure, obviously, yes. Great, thank you very much. Thank you very much for your participation. Here we go. Case number 4. Let's read it together, colleagues. Rocio's students will work on an article related to environmental sustainability. She wants them to enhance their reading comprehension while improving their categorization and critical thinking skills. Taking this goal into account, what is the most appropriate activity to carry out? Letter A. She asked her students to identify unfamiliar vocabulary in the article and write definitions from the internet. Then they shared the meanings with their classmates in small groups. Letter B. She asked her students to underline key sentences in each paragraph and summarize the main message of the article in 5 bullet points using their own words. Letter C. She asked her students to extract different ideas from the article and classify them into environmental problems, human actions, and propose solutions. Then they must create a concept map. Okay, you know the dynamic, my dear colleagues. You have a couple of minutes to analyze it individually. Then we will analyze it together. Okay, go ahead, please. You can start. Okay, my dear colleagues, let's analyze it together. Here we go. Um, Definitely here, we have to focus on the key words, categorization and critical thinking. What comes to your mind when we say categorization? Mhm. Please don't confuse yourself when we say categorization with the ordering sub skills. Okay, be careful with that. Ordering is just unscramble the sentence, put the correct order of the paragraph, perhaps. It is easy to identify the ordering situation, but categorization, here we have a synonym for categorization. Let's give me an example. You know that you can find some charts in some books. For example, here we have fruit and vegetable. And here we have the vocabulary, chemistry colleagues, and we just, okay, this is fruit, this is vegetable, fruit, vegetable. In that case, it is not ordering, my dear colleague, it is categorization in that case, categorizing in that case. Okay, yes. But first of all, I would like to know your answer, my dear colleagues. Tell me, what is your final answer, or perhaps you can write in the chat box your dismissing option. First of all, the beautiful question. Let me write here the beautiful question. If you had to dismiss one alternative, what would it be, colleagues? First of all, if you had to dismiss one alternative, what would it be? A, B, or C, please. Okay. Yes, I agree with you, my colleagues, that we have to dismiss here letter A. Yes, you are right. Mhm. Okay, remember, here is something similar to ask my students to look at the words in their dictionary. Yes, so I want them to uh, develop their thought-provoking. Thought-provoking is similar to critical thinking. Yes, thought-provoking. Yes, thought-provoking. The main character during the learning process, obviously, they have to build their learning process, their knowledge. She asked her students to identify just with the verb identify. We can say that is a basic knowledge, yeah, just to find something literally. Okay. Perhaps it is the basic to improve later the learning process. That's perfect, but the case is not asking for that. Then they share the meaning with their classmates in a small group. Of course, after that, they can develop the categorization and critical thinking skills later. Okay, but that's not the point. Okay. Tell me, my dear colleagues, what is your final answer here? Your final answer is letter B or letter C? Please, everybody writes in the chat box your final answer. B or C? What do you say, colleagues? Please, without fear, we are here to practice. What about the rest? Please. B or C? Thank you very much, colleagues here. Colleague Yvette, colleague Lopez, colleague Renee. What about the rest? What is your final answer? Come on, you can do it. For future cases, the first bear can give us an idea, but here we don't have the possibility to lead ourselves or to guide ourselves with the first bear. It's the same. She asks her students. Okay, so she asks her students to underline key sentences. Okay. And extract different ideas from the article and classify them into environmental problems, etc. Then they must create. So, as I said before, When you identify some verbs, obviously related to the teacher's aim, it will help you a lot. Here we have classify, similar to categorization. Create, well, it is related to critical thinking. Yeah, my dear colleagues, we can say that letter C is closer to the teacher's aim. For that reason, final answer is letter C, colleagues. Nice. Letter B, she asked her students to underline key sentences in each paragraph and summarize. Well, if the case is asking for summarizing or perhaps paraphrasing, yes, but the case is not asking for summarizing. The case is asking for categorization or categorizing, colleagues. It's a different type of skill. I'm not saying that letter B is a negative alternative or activity to work with our students. That's perfect, but the case is not asking for that. Remember that. Yes, remember that, my dear colleagues. For that reason, final answer here is letter C. Tell me, my dear colleagues, is it clear now? What do you say, colleagues? Please. Yes, nice. Okay, okay. Great, my dear colleagues, for your participation. Yeah, keywords, yeah, yes, keywords in that case, yes. Main words, the keywords. Yes, it's important to identify the keywords here to get to the final answer easier. Nice. That's it, my great colleagues. Thank you very much for your participation. Any donation for the channel will be great. I recommend to be part of this great channel to be got the membership, yes, and you will be able to watch a lot of videos with a lot of hours analyzing some cases in English. That's it for today, my dear colleagues, and take care. And thank you very much again for your commitment with our mayor. We are here, English teachers, and see ya next opportunity. Bye bye. Take care. See ya.